Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. That's how it sounds, right? That's an accurate form of how it sounds. All right, y'all. I want you to see the new me, but I don't want you to be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Let's start. Let's start. Okay, yeah, let's go. Wah! Wah! Hi. Hi. It's me! Despite everything, it's still me. It's still you! Hi. Oh my god, y'all, I'm so sorry I'm late. Remember I've told you all for a while now that my schedule is kind of weird and I'm trying to figure it out. So this week, my Thursday is a mess. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can schedule something on Wednesday because I got out of work early today. Well, that didn't work out too well for me. Ha. I was supposed to be on almost an hour ago. And what sucks is that I have something else coming up at 6-ish. Bah. Bah. It didn't work out for me. I don't think Wednesdays are a complete bust though. They might work sometimes. It's because sometimes I get out of work a little bit early on Wednesday. Well, sort of. I have to do paperwork, but I can do the paperwork later. Bah. It just sucks. Because tomorrow I really do have a lot going on. So I don't think I can stream tomorrow. It's okay though. We're gonna do a smaller stream. Oh, and if you're wondering what's in the background, it's like, Study with Miku. I was trying to see if I should lower the volume even more. Oh wait, I hit the wrong thing. Oh my god, I hit the wrong thing twice. I'm trying to check my filters. Hello! ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Hello, there's the filters. Because I have the gain on really high. That's probably a bit better. That's probably better. Yeah? Yeah? Because it's like I want stuff to be loud for games, but not for background music. Wah! Wah! I'm sorry. I look at my face like this and I can't help but scream. Wah! Anyway, this is IRL stuff. Look. Look. Yes, you are, but to be fair, I'm very late. I'm so late! It's okay. We'll have a very short stream because I think I only have about an hour and 20, an hour and something. I have a disapproving look to myself. But look, we're doing IRL stuff. See? Those are my fingies. Those are my little hands. I feel like I should go back to wearing my gloves, but at the same time, who cares? It's too hot. It's too hot. So, you all can hear. Yeah, you can still hear me. It's just I'm facing away from the camera. From the microphone. I was trying to find, where is that? So basically, I went to Powell's bookstore this weekend, which is in Portland, and is like an amazing bookstore. There it is. I found it. I found it! You're all like, what the fuck is wrong? Oh wait, this is upside down, isn't it? Ah, hold on. I forgot to upside down it. That should be right. Yes. Oh yes. All right. So basically, Powell's is this bookstore in Oregon that's really cool. It's like an entire city block, as in like literally the entire city block is the bookstore. They actually have a little annex on the side still, I think, but I've only gone to the main one. Anyway, I haven't been in a few years, so I was finally able to go again recently, and this is legit the store map. I was using it while I was in the store because even though, weirdly enough, I remembered where almost everything was. Guess what the problem was? Oh, this is my tea. I'm thirsty. Guess what the problem was? What was the problem? The problem is that because I haven't been there in a few years, they moved all the sections. Literally, the only section that was still in the same place was the kids section in the basement. I think, oh, and where the cash registers are, the main ones. Everything else is different. I know it's hard to see, like you probably can't read the text, but you can see the pictures. I can see them. So this is literally, this is the little cafe. I love this cafe. Whenever I go up there, I hang out in the cafe for a while. This one, so they're all color coded. So when you're in the actual store, you'll see these signs that'll say like purple room, blue room, whatever room, and that's how you can figure out where you're going, right? So this is the this is the lower floor. This is the first floor because that's the basement. So this is the lower floor. This is the cafe. Oh my God. And then to make things worse, so they have 2 elevators and only B was, only B was working, I think. Yeah, B. Because A is the one that hits every single location and B doesn't. So I had to like limp around with my cane like a dumbass. Anyway, I mean, I do that anyway, but okay. So this one is the Gilder Cafe. They actually have books here. So funny enough, in the cafe, they had all the business books, which was kind of annoying because as I was eating my little sandwich, yum, 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 I had to look at Elon's face and I was like, go fuck yourself, dude. And Steve Jobs and all this shit, because those are the ones they're selling here. Then, so I'm telling you the whole area before I show you what I bought. So then the purple one, it's metaphysics, wellness, sociology, ethnic studies, and politics. This one used to have the sci-fi section back here. That's why I was confused. But now it has some other stuff. I think the metaphysics was always there. It also used to have a bunch of cool games in the middle that aren't there anymore. Whatever. Blue is literature, poetry, philosophy, classics, and memoir. Also LGBTQ section was here, which I don't know why the LGBTQ section isn't listed here. Fuck y'all. But the LGBTQ section was listed here, one of them. LGBTQ literature is here in the corner. Also, all these little areas that y'all can see, these little entrances, those are all stairs. So someone like me who has a cane was like, I hate myself. This is where you normally come in. This is the main entrance. And this has like all their like swag, the cash registers, and then they have like a bunch of the newer or like, ¿cómo se dice? On display books? Yeah, on display. You know what I mean? Like the ones that are like, ooh, look at this. If you go down from here, the rose section is all the kids section, kids and young adults. So you can find some pretty cute stuff here. I've gotten kids books before, and any manga or comic books that are kid friendly will be here too. But what was this thing that was new to me? Oh yeah, Pets, I think, wasn't here before. Oh my God, I should have brought it. I bought the cats some cat toys. Very cute. Yeah, I don't think I put the cat toy in the Discord either. I got them some catnip basically, and they're really enjoying it. They're really enjoying the catnip. Why do I feel like the music is loud again? Vamos a bajarlo. It's so hard for me to tell what the music sounds like to you all because the volume in my ear is different, you know? And the volume in my ear does not affect the volume on stream. I'm sorry. Every time I look at myself as a Muppet, I can't help but scream. Okay, so that's what this one was. Home and garden was over here, which is very different from before. They had like plants and shit. I feel like before they had more aisles here, which are not here anymore. Now they have plants and journals and things in the back. And I guess this is where you can sell your used books, in this little section. I thought about bringing some with me, but then I was so worried because it's like, will I have time to wait? And what if they don't buy any of my books? Because when you sell your books online, they don't accept many of them, which is annoying. And then, oh yeah, the gold section is sci-fi, fantasy, mystery, thriller, romance, horror, manga, graphic novels, gaming. So clearly this section is the one I was in the most, because of course I was. And then the red one is history, science, religion, travel, nature studies, and foreign language. I wanted to go here more because apparently, no, we're not going to have an ad break. You get out of here. Dismiss you. What was I saying? Oh. So the reason I wanted to be here more, but I didn't have time, is because originally I saw it when it said foreign language, it meant like learning a language, but I'm like, I'm doing good on the Japanese front. I got some new books. I might have to get something for the N4 later, but I got a lot of good books right now. I think I'm fine. But then I found out that apparently they also have books in those languages. Get it? Sorry, I'm thirsty and tired. But yeah, so what was annoying? Yeah, annoying. is that, so I figured it out. I went over there. The people in the gold section helped me. But then, I found the Spanish language book section, but they were all translations, which I get it. That's fine. It's just that I was looking for books that were originally in Spanish, because I saw a bunch of books in the whole area that were translated to English, but the original authors were Spanish speakers. Wait, why is the ad break starting? I told you to not give them an ad break. Twitchy. I hit this miss. I hit no. Fine, I'll just talk to myself. Well, anyway, I'll talk to YouTube. Anyway, when I was there, I was annoyed because, so all the Spanish books books in Spanish that I found were books that were in English originally that were translated, which again, that's fine, that's cool. There's a lot of Spanish speakers in Oregon. It's just that, again, I wanted books that were in Spanish originally. See what I mean? That's not the same thing. And I wanted to spend more time there so I could see if I could find any of the books that are in Spanish originally instead of what I found, because buying them on Amazon, which is my only option, costs a lot of money because they get shipped from usually from Mexico, so it's pricey. I would have also loved to find manga in Spanish, but I haven't had much luck with that. That I always have to buy on Amazon from Norma. You all know Norma, not the person. Norma books. So they license a bunch of manga in Spanish. Whatever. So that didn't work out too well, but I was finally able to. The reason why I wasn't able to do that is because I spent time up here, because the last time I went some years ago, I think the rare book room was closed because it was still too close to when COVID had started, even though it was a few years out. This must have been like 2 or 3 years ago. So I wasn't able to go into the rare book room. And actually, even when I lived in Oregon, I was never able to go. So my mission was to go to the rare book room. It was so cool, y'all. You have to get like a little visitor pass, like the ones that you have at it's like a badge that you would have like at an anime convention. So you have to get that, and then you go in, and then they have all these expensive ass books. I touched very few of them. There was only one that I was kind of interested in. It was like $200, which I didn't buy it, clearly. I can't afford that. But some of the books were like insane. Which one was the crazy one? I think it was James Joyce, one of his books, it was like one of his books, and it was a first printing. It was like $15,000, something crazy like that. And then I also saw the original printing of 1984, also really high up there. So they have some books that are like really expensive, like famous person, first print edition, actually still like a book you can read, like in the sense that all the books they have there in the rare book collection, even though yes, they're delicate, like none of them are fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Actually, quite a few of them were sealed, probably to keep out the crap, right? Oh my god, I should post pictures later, but basically they also had like old encyclopedias that were now racist. They literally had one that was like Encyclopedia of the Orient or Oriental Encyclopedia. It wasn't great. And then it had, at the time it was probably really helpful, but it basically had like, Japan, China. Did they have any other country? They only had a few countries, but I will say, I forget how old it was. It was a really old encyclopedia. Considering how old it was, they had a lot of info on Japan and China, which was pretty impressive. I don't think they had much about any other places. What else did they have? You know what I'm surprised that I didn't see? Don Quixote. So I feel like if that would have been in a Latin American country, we would have had Don Quixote immediately. Oh, but they had Parable of the Talents, which I haven't read yet, by Octavia Butler. And I almost asked how much it was, but I was worried that I'd buy it, so I didn't ask. Oh, and they had these really tiny, I almost bought them, but I was like, let's spend money on things I actually want and not chucheria, porquerias. They had these tiny little books like this? Like this? Yeah. Of Shakespeare, which supposedly had the whole play in them, but like in tiny font. And if y'all don't know, I love tiny books. Actually, are my tiny books here? Damn. I think No, I do have them. Let me grab one for you. You all have no idea. You're like, what are they getting? What's happening? What's happening in the background? Like, I'll put my ears back on. Hold on. Okay. So these are some of my tiny books. Why is this one upside down? Oh, wait. No, yeah. Why is it upside down? Hold on. So it even, oh, wait, you can't see this. So it even has a little magnifying glass so you can read them. Don't judge me. I'm a weirdo. So these are all full tiny books. Like, they're not just for show. It's the real book. Let me show you. Like, oh, you can't see the magnifying thing. Oh yeah, you can. I can. This is like the real book, y'all. Even though I hate Colleen Hoover, like, that's like, who, why? No. But anyway, I just got it because when you get, what was this from? This is from, like, you know, like those little brand tiny toys. What the fuck are those called? Anyway, they have a book version. I also have this one, which is Miss Peregrine's Thing for Children, right? Home for Peculiar Children, yeah. I never read that. I was too old whenever this came out. But I know of it. They have like a babysitter club book. Like a legit, like, these are actual words, y'all. These are tiny little letters and words. Got Mad Libs. It's funny, my therapist asked me the other day if I knew what Mad Libs was, and I was like, you know, we have Mad Libs in Spanish. And she was like, oh. But see, it's like tiny Mad Libs. And this is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And this one, oh yeah, Matilda. So as you can see, I'm a big fan of tiny books. Here's the thing. The Shakespeare ones were bigger. They were probably, so like I said, they're probably like that big, that, you know what I mean? So they were easy to read. But I love tiny books. It's just that they're expensive and it's a stupid purchase. However, so there's some, when I went to Japan, I was able to find some of these. I found one here. They finally brought one here. I have the same one, unfortunately. But these are like also tiny manga that are the full, look, this is the full manga, but tiny. Understand how small this is? This is like 2 inches or some shit. I love it. It even has, look, it's like the actual book cover. That's why even though I got the same one twice, this is Boys Over Flowers. So even though I got volume 1 twice of Boys Over Flowers, I still kept it. And actually, the other ones aren't on my little shelf yet. My little tiny bookshelf. I'm such a fucking weirdo. They're not here yet, because as you can see, so these are actually a little bit too big. They fit these ones good, the American ones, but not these ones. I got another manga. I got like 1 or 2 other ones. Didn't I get Love Story? I forget. Anyway, the point is they had little tiny Shakespeare plays, which were really cool, but each one was $30, and I was like, holy shit, y'all. I think it's because the $30 ones, I'll just leave my tiny books here. Oh wait, no, I need space for my real books. So I think the reason that those were so expensive, the $30 ones, is because they apparently were bound with real leather. And I'm like, okay. But anyway, wait, why is this? Don't move. Don't. It's like melting. It's like slowly melting. Well, you can mostly see what I'm doing. I don't know why it's not like firm like it's supposed to be. Anyway, this is Powell's. It's amazing. It's in Oregon. If you go, it's in Portland. You should visit it and buy all of the books. So what's the important thing? Ooh, a fountain? I didn't see a water fountain. Oh, maybe it was by the bathroom because I didn't go to the bathroom in there. Shockingly. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. I mean, it is, but not like that. So I'm going to show you my Powell's book haul because that's what I'm doing with my life. All right, here are all the books I bought. We're going to talk about books for an hour. If you don't like it, get out of here. Bah! Now, a lot of these books I have never read. I hope that's obvious. Oh yeah, they gave me some bookmarks. These aren't as cute as the ones I've gone there before, but that's okay. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that hopefully it's clear most of these books I haven't read, but some of them are books that I've wanted for a long time. So like this one, Kageki Shoujo. I I don't know if you all saw the anime. I was really into it. But basically, it's all these girls that are competing, well, that are in like a high school to train to be actors. But in the oh my god, I always forget how to pronounce it. Terakusa? You know, like the all-women's troupe in Japan that's super famous, and they do mostly musicals and like really elaborate plays. This manga is about, it's like a fictionalized version of them. So even though the school is different, like I think it's more to just not get in trouble, but that's basically what it's about. So it's all these girls who are trying to train in high school to be like actors in the future. It's really good. So this one, I've already seen the anime, and actually I think I read a little bit of the manga, but I want to like own some of it. I don't know that I'm going to buy the full thing because, you know, manga's expensive, but I was like, I kind of want to at least have volume 1 to look at. Look how pretty it is. Oh yeah, it's also kind of gay because all the girls, you know how it goes in an all-girls school. And the Name of the Mermaid Princess is another manga. They're not all manga, don't worry. Seemed interesting. It might be trash. We're going to find out. But the art looked really nice, right? Like, it looks pretty. And I actually really like mermaids. I used to be a really big fan of The Little Mermaid. My only issue is that I'm not really into, like, hetero relationships because I'm so tired of them. But it was pretty enough that I was like, that's fine. I'll try it out. I think it was on sale. Oh, no. It was, like, normal price. Because I did get a lot of books that were cheaper. So this one looked really interesting. Casual. I think it's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic something or other. Hold on, I'm gonna lower the volume because it's bugging me. Although again, what I hear is the music is not what you hear, so. So this is by Koji Dai? I forget where this person's from. Casual managed her depression and anxiety, stabilized her mood, and helped her get pregnant. What? But new laws forbid her from using the device when she's the sole caregiver for her infant. So Valia needs to detox before giving birth. No idea. The full-blown panic attacks have her considering a controversial clinical trial that would place a tandem implant in her unborn baby and allow Valia to keep hers active. I don't know what that means. Her only options are to attempt solo parenting without Casual or install a minimally tested device in a vulnerable child. Casual is a stark and cutting glance at a near future that looks uncannily like our present, exploring themes of bodily autonomy and the struggle for mental health in the world increasingly divided. That's why I got it, because it kind of seemed like, I like dystopian stuff, and it seemed interesting, especially with the kid aspect and the implants and shit. We'll see. It might suck. I don't know. That's the thing with books, right? When I'm getting them like this, I have no clue if I'll like them or not. Oh wait, this one was recommended though. That one was recommended for their dystopian books. This one was recommended for their queer books, and I know this... Oh wait. You can't see it. The author's name is Dea Muniz. Dea Muniz. I know this author, and not personally, but in the sense that I've read other works of theirs, and that's why I was like, oh, I might like this. But yeah, it's supposed to be gay. It's called The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. They're both women who are into each other. Let's see. Lady Camembert wants to live life on her own terms, without marriage. Well, without marrying a man, that is. But the law of the land is that the family fortunes cannot be passed down to women, gasp. So when her father passes away, she has the only thing she can. She disguises herself as a man and moves to the capital city in the Kingdom of Fromage to start over as Count Combat. Look, I like cheese. I like lesbians. I like cross-dressing, because I'm really queer. What did you expect from me? What did you expect? I saw that one in so it wasn't just in their recommended ones in person. They sent it out in their newsletter, and I was like, I gotta buy this shit. This one, I think I had seen this one before, being Ace, and I just hadn't bought it yet. I forget. I think I saw it because, oh, you know what it was? I think it was last Pride. Is this that old? Because I know it's new, but I don't think it's new. I think it was because last Pride month, as in last June, they were putting out, yeah. They were putting out stuff for, like asexuality books, because they don't usually do that. Yeah, it was first published in 2023, so I'm probably right. This is supposed to be basically like a lot of short stories by, like, it's an anthology by a bunch of different authors talking about who all have an asexual character. I know all the authors are asexual. And then, like it says on the top, I think you can read it, but it's basically an anthology of queer, trans, femme, and disabled stories of asexual love and connection. So I was like, yes. I love getting stuff like this. I will say, when it comes to these types of anthologies, they're really hit or miss. I've had some anthologies that are, like, amazing. I prefer the comic book ones anyway, but some are amazing, some suck. But the worst is when you have like a few amazing ones in an anthology and a few terrible ones. So I don't keep all the anthologies I buy, but it is interesting because I've definitely found some new authors from anthologies that I've bought, you know, because I'll be like, oh, that was a really cool story. Now I want to read more of you. You know what I mean? More from you? Yeah, that's probably right. All right. This one I've been meaning to buy for a while. It's R.F. Kuang, The Poppy War. I really like this author. I have Babel and Yellowface. I read Yellowface first and then Babel. Both amazing books, but I think that The Poppy War is the one that made her popular, actually. Or it's a very well-known trilogy when it comes to, like, I think it's fantasy. Yeah. And she started with these, if I remember right. So I'm really excited to read this one because I've liked all of her books. Although Babel and Yellowface are so different. If you wouldn't have told me it's by the same author, I would have thought it was two different people. Watch them be a system or something. That'd be funny. But yeah, if you haven't read anything by R.F. Kuang, I really recommend it. I can't recommend this one yet. I just know that this trilogy is popular. But Babel is like dark academia, basically. If you like books that force you to think a lot and talk about a lot of like stuff that you won't really understand, and get Babel. It's interesting. It's just that the way they use language is like, it's a lot. And then Yellowface is more, it felt more like internet drama, but smart, if that makes sense. Yellowface I read a lot quicker, because Yellowface almost feels like a well done trashy book that's smart. And Babel is like, no, you gotta put some work into this shit. So we'll see about The Poppy War. I'm assuming I'll like it. Again, I've liked everything she's made. Oh my god. Y'all are like, how many fucking books did you buy? A lot. We're not even halfway through. My Next Life as a Villainess. Side story on the verge of doom. Okay. I really like the original light novel and the anime and the manga. Like, whatever. All of it, right? It was like, I loved season 1 of the anime. I really liked the original light novel, but I don't know what happened with the author. I feel like she should have ended the story, or maybe she's just not very good at continuing, but it went from like amazing to pure trash. So the reason why I got this is because this is supposed to be an AU story. If y'all don't know what this is, it's like one of the many isekai-ish otome games. Fuck. Wait. Something fell and I can't tell if one of the cats came in here and dropped something. Well, I'll find out later. So it's basically, this girl dies. She's playing this otome game, aka like a dating sim, but women dating men. And she goes into the game's universe and becomes this character when this character's like 6 or something, like very young and blah, blah, blah. It's also kind of queer. There's some queer stuff that happens. It's just that then it kind of like peters out, which is annoying. So this is basically the same beginning, except if she would have switched when they were teenagers instead. The reason I was curious, even though this is a manga, I wonder if they made a light novel of this first. But the author's the same. The reason why I was curious is because the author did such a good job with the beginning of this series that I'm curious if the beginning of this AU will also be good. If it's trash, then the beginning of the series might have been a fluke. I don't know. It's just so sad. I was so into it, and then as you keep reading or watching or whatever, you're like, wow, this is like pure trash. This is like not good. Alright. And then we got this for the internal kids mostly. Warrior Cats, A Starless Clan. So this is like, yeah, it's like volume 3. which is weird that I got volume 3 even though I haven't read 1 or 2. But it kind of felt like in this case, each book was separate. So each book has a different clan. The first one, I can't read. Oh yeah, the first one's River. The second is Sky. The third is Shadow. And the fourth is Thunder. So even though they're connected, I think you can read them separately. And this one was recommended by the employees because they put like little recommendations right on the bookshelves. And the recommendations seemed interesting because I do like Shadow Clan. So we got it. I will read the back for you because of course you want to know about warrior cats. The warrior code now allows a cat to formally change clans. Gasp. But Shadow Clan's newest arrival feels increasingly unwelcome, and though Shadow Clan warrior Sunbeam thinks every cat deserves a chance, one of the loudest voices of opposition is her own mother. Oh no! Meanwhile, Medicine Cat apprentice Frostpaw scrambles to help River Clan stay afloat under the watchful eye of a second Tiger Star. And the shadow of growing conflict looms over them all. Tiger Star is like one of the main villains in the original. It's not a trilogy. In the original series, it's 6 books. Anyway, we got that one. Look, we have a range of things we like, okay? Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. So they have, this is the only one I thought was cool enough to grab. They have these little bookmarks that have recommendations. And this one only had like tarot decks on it, which is interesting. It had like LGBT, so this one says LGBTQIA plus and person of color approved, which actually makes sense. And then the general bestsellers and then the beginner guides. I thought about buying a new deck, but I couldn't decide. And I feel like if I couldn't decide, it wasn't the right time. So I didn't. Because for those of you who don't know, I used to do tarot readings all through high school and college. That's a fun fact for you, for the few people on YouTube and Twitch watching us right now. All right. This one was also recommended a few times. I don't think it was just from Powell's that I've seen the recommendation. So when I saw it, it's like, oh, I should just grab it. I've meant to grab it anyway. It's another anthology, but this one is an indigenous dark fiction anthology, Never Whistle at Night. So they probably explain it better than me. Yeah, it's basically like similar types of boogeymen, so to speak. Like, how do you keep demons or evil spirits from following you and attacking you? And it's like different people having stories about that. And I'm assuming a lot of them are from different tribes. So I was interested in this. It'd be cool if there were some indigenous people in here who are from South America or the Caribbean like me, but somehow I doubt it. I guess we'll find out. I'm just assuming most of them are from North America, but I could be wrong. Only because any indigenous story is probably going to be interesting to me, but I wish I could read more from people who are similar to me. All right, this one I've heard about a lot too. This one's called She Professed Herself the Pupil of the Wise Man. The reason why this had caught my attention a while ago, there's an anime too, but this is the manga. I wanted to get the light novel first, but the manga was on sale because this is a used version, so it was only $8. The reason this had caught my attention some time ago, whenever the anime came out, is because some people were saying that it felt very trans/queer friendly because in the person's initial life they were male, but then when they get reborn, they're reborn as a girl and are happy about it. You know? We'll see. I just know that it was recommended as kind of like a queer friendly thing. Yeah, let's see. Sakamori Kagami has awakened in the world of Ark Earth Online, a game he plays religiously. The catch? Instead of his normal avatar, an old bearded sorcerer, he finds himself in the body of a girl. Now he must convince the people of this world that she, is the pupil of the legendary wise man who vanished without a trace 30 years ago. So, we'll see. It's an isekai, and sometimes they do really poorly with anything queer. This is another one I meant to buy a million times and hadn't. Did I get it on sale? Yeah, it was on sale. That's why, because if it's like one of their used books that's a bit cheaper or it's on sale, because around where I live, there aren't a lot of books on sale that I like. I feel like every time there's a book sale, it's never anything I'm interested in. I say that, but I did get a few last year in their Christmas sale locally. Anyway, this one's Life Turned Upside Down. My dad's an alcoholic. It's like a true story, and I really like memoirs. I especially like comic book memoirs. This reminded me of what's the other one called? The one I really like. My Solo Diary, or what is it, like the lesbian something of loneliness? Oh, God. It's like right behind me, but I can't read it. It's too far away. Anyway, this one is Mariko Kikuchi tells the painful story of her father's alcoholism and her own journey for guilt to understanding her father's illness. She rejects the common belief that family members can and should be forgiven for anything they do, no matter how much harm they cause. This powerful, self-contained autobiographical manga began as a web series that went viral and inspired a critically acclaimed 2019 film in Japan. I don't think I knew that they made a movie of this, but I know it's been around for a little bit. It's like I said, I've been meaning to pick it up. Oh my god, I already have a stack of books right here. Okay. I got 2 bags over here, so I'm trying to like not cause some problems. Alright, this one's He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan. I have the first book. I think it's on my bottom shelf. Anyway, this is part of I thought it was going to be 3 books, but I think it's only going to be 2. Oh, here it is. She Who Became the Sun. She Who Became the Sun is like, it kind of reminds me of Mulan, is like the easiest way to say it, but more historically accurate. But it's like a similar type of story. I actually might reread it. If I remember right, the main character, like, I think they were like poor and they lose everything, and then they try to get into this place where they only accept boys for training, and they make it in any way somehow and give her all the training and become like super powerful. There was even this thing where I think their teacher knew that they were, I wouldn't say a woman, AFAB, because in the first book it kind of comes across that maybe the main character is a trans man, or at least genderqueer in some way, which even makes sense to me why the first book would be She Who Became the Sun and the second one is He Who Drowned the World, because it does feel like the first book focuses not only on the main character's journey for like training to be this super powerful person. I mean, in a semi-normal way. I don't think there's any magic, but there's like some future foretelling fate stuff, and there's also this really pretty princess from what I recall. But they're also like exploring their gender and all of that at the same time. So hence why I'm not surprised to see this title. I read it whenever the other one came out. This is the second part. I gotta reread the first one before I read this one, so I remember it better. I just remember really liking it. I'm not putting this away yet because I need space in the back first. So this one's called Cats and Sugar, right? Cats and Sugar. Cats and Sugar Bowls. It's a lesbian thing. I was like, wait. 2 cute lesbians on the cover. A cat. Look at the cat. It's called Cats and Sugar Bowls. Hopefully it doesn't suck, because a lot of the lesbian anthology mangas are so bad. Ooh, look at this pretty picture at the back, though. That's really cool. We'll see. I used to buy Eclair, which is one that they've translated a few of them into English. That's really pretty. And they all suck. I feel like at most they'll have like one story that doesn't suck, and all the rest are terrible. I'm just curious as to what they're recommending in the background. My god, they're recommending Citrus. Citrus is so problematic. Boy Meets Maria, though, is so good. Oh, the ads are coming back, but that's okay. That's okay, because I'll put stuff in the bag, back in the bag when the ads start. Alright, here's some male gay stuff. This one is The Husky and His White Cat Shizun. I bought the first volume a while ago. I'm hoping I like it because I just bought the second one, but I bought the second one because it was like half off. And so I'm hoping that the first one I'm into. I like this type of thing though, and I really was into like scum villains, so I'm hoping I like this one. These are all like danmei, like Chinese, they're like wuxia too, right? So they're like Chinese martial arts, meditation, cultivation, gay stuff, basically. This is the other one. This is Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I've already seen, so this is like the most popular one, right? It's from like the live action show is The Untamed. I saw the anime already. I saw the full anime, and then I already read Scum Villain. I started to read this one but stopped, so I got volume 5 because I like it. I know I'm gonna read the whole series. Oh, but I also got it. I know the ad started, I'm sorry, but I also got it because the one they had in Powell's, not only is it still sealed, well, barely, right? You can see. Oh wait, it's like barely sealed. I guess I'm wondering where they got it from because it has a bunch of like special postcards and shit in the back. See? That are like sealed, and I was like, we want gay postcards. I'm into gay postcards. Who isn't? It's funny because I think this one has it too. What I saw in one of the other books that was open is that apparently they include like a full color comic book in the back too. But I don't think volume 5 isn't the end of that series, right? Doesn't it go on longer than that? I'm pretty sure it does. The other one I saw was Heaven's Official Blessing. Actually, I can't remember if in the end I bought volume 1 or not, because that one I haven't started collecting. Don't worry, I'm just putting stuff away in the bag so I can make room. So I can get the second bag out. Alright, get on the floor. Get on the floor. Oops, it's hot. Some of the books slipped over, but it's fine. Oh my god, these books are so heavy that, no joke, because I was like, that's all I want to do in Portland is buy books, right? Well, we went to some shows, but it's a topic for another day. So, one, it was really hard to walk with the books, and I thought it was just me being like, having fatigue or being tired or whatever, right? Because that's a thing we have a lot. And so I had like my cane in one hand, my book bag in the other, my backpack on me, and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die here. Yeah, no, come to find out, so when I packed everything in my suitcase, right, I get to the airport and they're like, oh, your suitcase is overweight. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it's overweight by like 4 or 5 pounds. I'm like, what? Because that means I wasn't imagining how heavy these fucking books were. They're really heavy. You know how much something has to weigh for your suitcase to be overweight? A lot. And there wasn't much else in the suitcase besides books. Because I was only there for like 2 days. So I had very few clothes. Right? Because why would I need them? Anyway, don't fall over. Okay. I bought another Octavia Butler book. This one's Dawn. This is the Lilith Brood novels. This should be the first one. I hope. Why is this in there? They just kept giving me bookmarks. Anyway. Yeah, this should be the first one. Yeah, it is. So, I got this one because I really liked Powerbow of the Sower. And I already have Powerbow of the Talents that I'm gonna read. So I wanted this for, like, some near future. Keep in mind, even though I bought a ton of books, it's not like I'm planning on reading them all now. When I do a big book buy like this, they're supposed to last me for like a year or so. So don't worry. Okay. This one seemed really interesting. Oh, this is the one I was trying to tell my sensei about. Well, whatever, I'll tell her later. So this one's Korean. It's another like type of dystopian book. And it said Hunger Games meets Squid Game. So I was like, okay, I'll probably like it then. I mean, those are like some of my favorite things. What's the summary of this? In a frozen land ravaged by climate change, Showbomb's, sorry, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Only solace comes in the form of 24-hour reality television streamed directly from Snow Globe, the doomed city at the heart of her world, and the only warm place left on the planet. But her life changes in an instant when she's visited by 2 strangers who deliver earth-shattering news. Snow Globe's biggest star has died, and because of Chobomb's striking resemblance to her, she's been chosen to take her place. Outside Snow Globe, every day is a struggle for survival. But inside, the war for ratings is even deadlier. And no one is safe. I would be shocked if I'm not into this. I mean, I guess if it's written really badly. Okay, but this is weird though. Why is the book... No, what's the English word for this? Why is the book promoting itself? Don't miss Snow Globe. You're reading Snow Globe. Don't miss Snow Globe. Like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I hope the translation is good. It's hard for me to know for Korean. Oh, I did get it. So this is what I was talking about. It's from the same author I was showing you all a minute ago. This one is Heaven Official's Blessing. This one was also used, I think. Yeah. Which is why it was cheaper. Okay, even though I really like this person's stuff, ooh, look how pretty. This is the one, I saw the anime for this. This is the one I was the least interested in. It was fine. It's just the other two I was really invested in. This one was like, okay. So that's why I was like, okay, getting a used version, because I want to read it, but I don't know how invested I'll be in it. I probably won't read this for a while, is my guess. Because from her books, I really want to read the other one I showed you all a minute ago first, and that one has a lot of volumes. But that way I have volume 1 of this one for whenever I decide to start it. Okay, so this one, which is called Another, I think this one's new. Yeah, it's new. I've been meaning to buy this book for a long time. I saw the anime, but I don't think they did a great job with the anime, to be honest. However, I don't even think I finished it, because it was like the idea was interesting, but the execution was kind of like meh. But the idea was interesting enough that I'm like, I really want to read the original novel, and I keep staring at it all the time. So I was like, I should just buy it and stop being weird. Because at Kinokuniya, they have this on this. They have this like pretty much every time I go in. Let me read you the summary. In the spring of 1998, ancient times, Koichi Sakakibara transfers to Yomiyama North Middle School. In class, he develops a sense of unease as he notices that the people around him act like they're walking on eggshells, and students and teachers alike seem frightened. As a chain of horrific deaths begin to unfold around him, he comes to discover that he has been placed in the cursed Class 3, in which the student body head count is always one more than expected. Class 3 is haunted by a vengeful spirit, responsible for gruesome deaths in an effort to satisfy its spite. To stop the vicious cycle gripping his new school, Koichi decides to get to the bottom of the curse. But is he prepared for the horror that lies ahead? See, it sounds interesting. So my issue with the anime is that it kind of felt like they took a cool horror story and turned it into random main character has a semi-goth waifu who people ignore and he's gonna save her. And I'm like, this is... It wasn't as bad as I'm making it seem, but it wasn't great. I might finish it eventually, but I want to read the book way more than the anime. What's this one? Oh, yeah. I don't know if you probably don't know about this one. So, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash had an anime that was really interesting. It's technically an isekai, but it's more realistic, actually. So, like, to be honest, I almost think that the anime did better than the book. I'm reading book 1 right now in some areas, but I think it's because you can literally see it. So imagine like a normal-ish isekai, except that the rules are way more realistic. So no one has superpowers. They all actually have to like train to do things. It is extremely difficult to do things like kill a goblin. That's not easy. So they're more like normal humans, right? Also, none of them remember anything, so they don't really know why they're there or what's happening. They don't even remember that they came from another world. They like suspect it, but their memories are all blocked. And in this universe, when people die, they die for real. So that comes up in a few different ways. The anime, from what I've been reading of the first book, might go through only the first book, I think. That's my suspicion. I'll have to see. It might have a little bit of book 2. I just don't know where book 1 ends. So I was really into this anime when it came out. I don't even know. 5-6 years ago. And I always wanted to read the book, but I think at the time, am I right, that there wasn't an official translation, so I couldn't, was the problem. Where was the first publishing in the US? Yeah, okay. So it looks like they started printing this around the same time the anime came out. And this is only volume 3. So, yeah. Anyway, as far as I know, they did eventually translate and release all of it, so that's why I bought it. I was literally reading book 1 on the plane to and from Portland. I don't think... No, I haven't finished it quite yet. I'm getting close, though. And then they had book 3 on sale, like half off. So I was like, oh, I'll buy book 3, because I like book 1 enough that I'm sure that I'll keep reading it. So that's why I got it. I shouldn't be flipping through it because I don't want to get spoilers, but I'm so curious. I really have enjoyed it. Overall, there's some stuff that's annoying. Like, they have, like, the weird girls playing and poking at each other's boobs for men, and it's like, oh, God. And then they also have, like, in the same scene, the men peeping on the girls in the bath, and it's like, ugh. Ignoring that, the story is pretty interesting. I'm just so tired of those tropes. All right, this one I had to like search for, which tells you something. So like I was really tired, but I remembered this. So I saw the anime season 1. I don't think I saw season 2. No, I don't remember. Might have seen season 2 as well. But basically, I really liked it. I saw the anime was really well done. And then I thought, well, if I like the anime, I'll probably like the original story, right? We'll find out. So basically, I searched for it and they did have volume 1 of the light novel in stock. Only one copy, which I did find, as you can see here, and I bought it. And it was also on sale, so I paid only half for it, which is great, because it's a used copy. But they're really anal about the used copies they take, so as you can see, like, it's perfect. Like, the books I send to them in really good condition. Oh my god. One really random thing is that I found this manga called Frag Time, which is like a Yuri manga, like a Yuri sci-fi. And I'm pretty sure it's the book I sold to them a few years ago. Because I was looking at it and I'm like, this is a really unusual book. And I did sell it to Powell's a few years ago. There's only one copy in the manga section. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is my copy that I sold to them. The reason why I wasn't sure is because the pages were a bit yellowed, which they weren't when they were with me. But if you think about the fact that it's been sitting on the shelf, if it is my book, for 2 to 3 years, then it makes sense that it'd be a little bit yellowed, because it's just like getting, you know, oxygen all the time. You know what I mean? But that was really weird. It stood out because it's a really thick book. It's one of those omnibus books. And it's also very queer. Anyway, I recognized it very easily. There's no way to know, because again, if you're selling a book to Powell's, you shouldn't have any markings in it. So I don't sell them books that have my name or any marking in it, so I don't know. So I make sure to not give them those. All right. Yeah, this is one of the random ones I picked up that I didn't know anything about. This is called The Book Eaters. I think it's one of the ones that had like a recommendation. Truth is found between the stories we're fed and the stories we hunger for. Out on the Yorkshire moors lives a secret line of people through whom books are food and who retain all of the book's content after eating it. To them, spy novels are a peppery snack. Romance novels are sweet and delicious. Eating a map can help them remember destinations. And children, when they misbehave, are forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries. Yuck. Devon is part of the family, with a uppercase F, an old and reclusive clan of book eaters. Her brothers grew up feasting on stories of valor and adventure, and Devon, like all other book eater women, is raised on a carefully curated diet of fairy tales and cautionary stories. But real life doesn't always come with happy endings, as Devon learns when her son is born with a rare and darker kind of hunger, not for books, but for human minds. Bum, bum, bum. Seemed interesting. Plus, I really like, well, obviously I love books, and I really like the idea of people eating books. There was this light novel I read a long time ago, before light novels were like a thing outside of Japan. It was like one of the few that got translated back then. And it was literally about this girl who I think also ate books. And then she had like book powers or something. It was interesting enough that if they would have released the other volumes, I would have read them all, but unfortunately at the time, it was so early on, this is like, I don't know, a million years ago, they only had volume 1. There was one day that I saw that they had released a few other volumes since then, but I haven't bought them. I don't know that I'm that interested anymore, but I would have been at the time. Alright, so this one, She Is a Haunting. And this one looks like it's a debut. I'm trying to remember. This is one of the horror ones, I think, right? Yeah. I think this one was recommended because it's horror and queer. And I was just like, okay. Okay. Jade Nguyen arrives in Vietnam with one goal. Pretend to be a happy family in the French colonial house her estranged father is restoring. If she survives these 5 weeks, she can get out with the college money Bob promised. But the house has other plans. Traces of a deadly history are everywhere. Something is rotting the house and its inhabitants. And night after night, Jade is haunted by a beautiful ghost who cryptically warns, don't eat. A home, after all, is only as powerful as those who breathe new life into its bones. And this one's determined never to be abandoned again. Ba-ba-bam. Yeah, this one had a lot of recommendations, and then one of the ones that was added was, it's on sale for $6, you should buy it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And it is. It was like a little, well, technically a little under $7. We're gonna see. Hopefully all these books are good, or at least most of them. Oh yeah, this one was interesting. I was on the fence about buying this one, but the reason I was drawn to it is because it had quenepas on the front. And that's so weird, right? You don't, when do you see a book that has quenepas on it, especially in the United States? Never. So I was like, okay, this is clearly someone from the Caribbean, and it is. It's someone from Jamaica. Or at least her family is. The author, I mean. And this is basically, I'll just read you the summary. Not the whole thing, though. Okay, told for an intimate and atmospheric first-person account, Broadupsy, right? Broadupsy? Yeah. Is a queer, yo no sé cómo decir eso en inglés. Disaporic, sorry, I have a hard time saying that in English. Chronicle of 20-year-old Akua's return to her native Kingston, Jamaica, after living in the United States and Canada in the decade following her mother's death. Yeah, basically it talks more about like family stuff, religion. Jamaica's unfortunately well known for being extremely homophobic, so I'm sure that's going to come up because she's gay. So, and even though I don't know a ton about Jamaica, I know they have a lot in common with us just being in the Caribbean so close to us being us in Puerto Rico. So I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds interesting. And if you hadn't noticed, I was also trying to buy only books from other BIPOC authors and queer authors, because why not, you know? That's why I was specifically trying to find also books from other countries. Other countries as in not the United States or Canada. So I was trying to find more international stuff. Well, and y'all know I love Japanese books, so that's always one of them. Alright, this is another one that I've also been meaning to buy like a million times. I'm pretty sure that I read the manga version of this a long time ago and was really into it. Like a long time ago. This is not a new... This has to be like 20, 30 years old. Am I right? Yeah, the original came out in 2000... Oh, wait, no. I was going to say the original came out in 2008, but then, no, that's wrong. 2002 is when the original came out. Interesting. Oh, so it looks like originally they released 2 shorter books, because this is a girl and a boy main character. Looks like they released one for the guy, one for the girl. And then the combined version, which is this one, is the one that came out in 2008. But yeah, see, I knew it was old. Because I feel like I read the manga a million years ago. I thought I read it before that, to be quite... Oh, wait, yeah, if it's 2002, that would make sense. Because I thought I read the manga like in 2004 or something. Anyway, so this one, I will just read to you the back. Morino is the strangest girl in school. How could she not be, given her obsession with brutal murders? And there are plenty of murders to grow obsessed with, as the town in which she lives in is a magnet for serial killers. She and her schoolmate will go to any lengths to investigate the murders, even putting their own bodies on the line. And they don't want to stop the killers. Morino and friends simply want to understand them. Yeah, I remember the manga. I just remember it was pretty interesting. In the manga, it was like this weird friendship slash maybe falling for each other, but also like weird obsession with murderers and murder. It was interesting. It was for my goth times, okay? So I'm excited to read this. It doesn't have to, it's one of those books where I don't have to read it anytime soon, but I'm glad to finally own it. All right, y'all, this is the final book. It's a miracle. I'm glad that I was right that the stream was going to be about an hour, because when I saw like how late I was like, fuck my life. But also, I can probably get through the books and talking about them in an hour, as long as I don't get too distracted. Because when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I was getting distracted by too many things. And it's like, they don't need to know all that. They just need to know books. All right, this is the last one I bought. This one's just came out. Let me see. Before I tell you what it is. I'm pretty sure. I know the English version just came out. Yeah, I was right. So this is a Korean book. The Korean version came out in 2021, but the English one came out this year. That's what I thought. So this one's called We Do Not Part by Han Kang. She's the one who wrote The Vegetarian, you know, and she won a Nobel Prize, as you can see, recently. So I read The Vegetarian just a few months ago, because I think it came out in English at the end of last year. But with that one, I had seen a lot of negative reviews about the English translation for The Vegetarian one, I mean. Thankfully, there was a Spanish version that released in December, so I bought that one and read it instead. Excuse me. It was really good. It was like, it reminded me, and I'm not blowing smoke up her ass, I don't know this person. It reminded me of when I would read classic books that I enjoyed in like Spanish class. Does that make sense? I guess the equivalent would be English class for the rest of you. But you know, when you're reading stuff like Shakespeare or what are other famous classic books, doesn't mean you have to like all of them, but I think often you can respect how good the book is, like the writing and the structure. And at least when I was in those classes, unless I was mad because there was a few books we read that were like super racist and problematic, but the ones that weren't, it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is a book that actually makes me work for it and think. More than babble, I would say. Not like that. More like, I feel like I'm only getting a small percentage of what this author is trying to express, but in a good way. I really enjoyed The Vegetarian, even though it was well, was it a difficult read? Some of the content was difficult, but I was so engrossed by like the book. Anyway, so I'm hoping I'll like this one too. I'll see how it feels to read her stuff in English. If I don't like the English portion, if that makes sense, I might just see if I can get her future books in Spanish. Because that's the thing, look, if I prefer to read books in the original language that they're written in, obviously, if possible. But when I'm reading a translation anyway, it doesn't really matter if I'm reading it in English or Spanish, unless one is better than the other, you know? Well, I say that, but the difference is if the language is closer to, I should start putting my books away. If the language is closer to one or the other. So when I'm reading books that were in Portuguese originally, I will always read them in Spanish, because those languages are so similar that you should not be losing much in the translation. But I can't imagine everything you'd miss if you were reading the English version. Does that make sense? But when it's like a language from Asia, for example, like this one, I don't know that it matters. English and Spanish are so different from Korean that I don't think it's going to be a big difference. Except, like I said, that the English translation of The Vegetarian got a lot of bad feedback and reviews. And I would say, because I talked to some people who had read the English version, I should close this because we're not gonna keep looking at stuff. Yeah, so I can move this back. But basically, yeah, so I was talking to some people who read the English version, and some of the things that I thought were different, yeah, there it goes, was that the Spanish one had more implications of misogyny and sexism, which would make complete sense in the story. So I kind of believed that was the intention, but the English one didn't. It cut out some stuff that would have made it more misogynistic. But in the whole book, all the men in The Vegetarian are all misogynistic and kind of terrible. That book was really good. Highly recommend. I guess only if you feel like you have the mental capacity for it, because like that one and Babel both make you think, but in very different ways. I'm not kidding. That Vegetarian felt like I was like back in high school or college, like analyzing a book, you know? Some people didn't like it. Some people I talked to were like, it's boring or whatever. I didn't like it. Some people got really annoyed because all the men sucked. And I was like, yeah, but I think that's the point. I think the point is that the men are all kind of terrible. Well, since I have a little bit of time before I have to run off. Oh, not much. 10 minutes? Well, maybe I'll leave that for another time. I was going to talk about some of the plays I thought, but I don't have enough time for that. Well, those are all the books I got from Powell's. Like I said, I wanted to at least have a short stream, because I don't think I can do anything tomorrow. I just have a lot of stuff going on. And then, like, there's one day this week where hopefully nothing will get scheduled, but I need to, like, rest and crash that day. I'm so tired. Yeah, that's about it. I'm curious, because I mean, I know I'm streaming it on YouTube, but I mean, this will stay on YouTube. So for any of you over there, I'm curious in the comments, if you want, if any of you have read some of the books that I showed. Don't put any spoilers though. Don't be jerks. I'm just more curious about the general, like, if you liked it or not, or if there's any books that y'all recommend. I probably can't buy any more books for a while. I think I need to either only get them from the library or wait until I finish these off. Because I already had some other books I haven't started reading yet, on top of these. But like I said, the point is for them to last me a year. I started this the first year of COVID, so 2020. I started doing this because, not going to Powell's, but like that year I did order a bunch of books from Powell's online. So, because I try to get books from Powell's, which is an independent bookstore, or Kinokuniya, which is also at least a small bookstore compared to like Amazon, right? I don't know if they're independent, but I think so. Anyway, I tried to get like a big box of books, and then I would read them little by little, you know? And that's been really nice, because then I don't have to worry about it. It's just I have like a stack of books, and I can read them whenever I want. And then when I get through them, I decide, oh, am I keeping this book or giving it away? And I've been able to give away a bunch of books to friends, which has been pretty nice. And then the other ones that I don't think my friends would like, I just donate them to local places. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little book journey. I hope you enjoyed seeing me as a Muppet. I think the only thing I want to do is like maybe eventually add the eyes closed so I can blink. Or is it better that I don't blink? Because the program I'm using for the PNG right now is like, yeah, you want to add this so you have a closed eye thing for blinking? And I'm like, I don't got that. I wonder if I could make one. Would that be weird? Alright, everybody, I'm so tired. I still got stuff to do today, and tomorrow, and forever. And always. Well, this has been Book Time with Galaxy System. Book Haul. Book Talk Galaxy System. I don't know. I'm not even on TikTok, but I feel like most of the book stuff I watch on YouTube is all about book talk. Oh my god. Sometimes that seems to be like a whole mess over there. You know? I don't know that I would fit in with the book talk people, really. But I do love books. Anyway, that's it. I'm so tired. But we got more to do. No ads! That better have worked this time. Last time I hit that, it was like, fuck you, and gave like the longest ads ever. Alright, y'all. Let's see. Well, we've had this lo-fi Miku stuff in the background the whole time. Where's... Oh yeah, this one. I like this song a lot. Oh my god, it sounds so chill in this version. This is the Reincarnation Apple song. If y'all haven't seen the video, it's one of my favorite videos and songs, the Reincarnation Apple Miku song. I feel like I deeply relate to it. I don't know what that says about me. Alright, everybody, goodbye. I don't think I'm gonna rate anybody. I'm just gonna, like, chill and say bye. And go to sleep in my mind, because I can in real life. Yeah. Yeah. Bye-bye! Bum, 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 bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, bum. Ba-bum, 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 bum, bum. It's so weird to hear this in lo-fi when the song is so intense. Have you all really not seen it? It's about this person who reincarnates over and over again and keeps feeling like they fail and they bite into the apple to get them to reincarnate again. Even though it's like, dude, you've succeeded in so many ways. You can't do all the things. You can't. But it's really cool seeing their journey from one life to another. Alright, everybody. Bye-bye! Bum, 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 bum.